What is up, book nerds? We're doing an I predict the Cleveland Browns season. I just did the Baltimore Ravens, so let's do Cleveland. This is gonna be an interesting season. We gotta see how Nick Chubb recovers from getting his leg shattered into a million pieces. Is Deshaun Watson good, or did he literally just rob Cleveland? These are the questions we want to know. Now we got Game 1, Cleveland victory over Dallas. It's gonna be interesting since it's gonna be a good game, kind of close. I don't remember whether or not this is in prime time. I'm gonna go look that up real quick. No, it's a 4:00 game. So Deshaun Watson plays all right in this game. Nothing spectacular. Dak does all right. Yeah. Want to hear more on my thoughts on Dallas' side? Go hit up the Dallas video, but finish this one first. But other than that, Cleveland puts up a good performance. And now we hop into week 2. But you may have also realized that we have a new background for the games compared to what we had in our last couple of videos. This is a custom-made background by a good friend of mine. But let's talk about the game. Now we have Jacksonville beating Cleveland by 2 touchdowns. This is when we start to see the holes in Deshaun Watson's game. I see him being very middle of the pack at best, Daniel Jones at worst. Jacksonville is still a solid team, and they can still make big moves, but I don't have as much. I have more trust in Trevor Lawrence than I do in Deshaun Watson. I don't know where that last part came from, but yeah, both very heavily overpaid quarterbacks. And now we have my New York Giants. Browns win. They're better on almost every front. Even though I don't trust Deshaun Watson, I trust him more than I trust Daniel Jones. I'll say that. I trust a recovering Nick Chubb more than I trust whoever New York's got. I think Devin Singletary now. I mean, he's not bad, but he ain't no Nick Chubb. Who do we even have a tight end now? Darren Waller's gone. Not that Darren Waller did much, but Browns got Njoku. Wide receivers. We have Neighbors, but Neighbors is still pretty fresh. They got Amari Cooper if he plays and stays on Cleveland. But even if they do trade him, I doubt they're gonna trade him in like week 3. So now we have the Browns game against the Raiders. This is where I see an upset happening. I have a lot of trust in Gardner Minshew, probably more than I should, but I do like him. And until I see Deshaun Watson go back to what he did in Houston, I'll say Minshew is better right now because I really like what Minshew did in Indianapolis. So I will say that Raiders get the win. This is a nice surprise victory. Adds some spice to the season and starts the conversation. Is Deshaun Watson really that guy? Now we have a close game, 27-24 over the Commanders. The Browns are still good that they will beat the Commanders. The Commanders are a bottom 5 team right now. Jaden Daniels, I liked him what he did at LSU, but I don't know if he was my favorite quarterback prospect. Of course, I've known to temper my expectations at any time when it comes to rookie quarterbacks. But I still think he's going to be all right in Washington. Browns are going to keep this way closer than it needed to be and cause some anxiety. Now we got their game against Philadelphia. They will lose narrowly. This is my I predict the Philadelphia Eagles video. So they're going to lose narrowly. This is going to highlight some of the strengths of the Browns. Chubb is going to have a good game. Deshaun Watson is going to do all right. Njoku's going to have an all right game. but the Eagles will be able to pull out in the fourth quarter. Now we have the Browns beating the Bengals. This is going to be one of the Browns' best games of the season. They're going to embarrass the Bengals in many respects. The Bengals are going to have a very slow start to the season, but the Browns will overpower them in this Week 7 outing. Deshaun Watson will play like his Houston self for this game. This is actually their highest scoring game so far, and probably their second biggest point deficit. But the Bengals will still put up a fight in the first half. They're just going to underperform the second. Now we have the Browns in a surprise upset over the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be the second game in a row in which Deshaun Watson looks really good. Nick Chubb is going to get back to producing like he used to. Their defense is going to be solid. Stefanski and Harbaugh are going to have their usual outing. So, yeah, Browns get a surprise victory. Things are looking on the up and up. And now the Browns get a narrow win over Justin Herbert's Chargers. This is a good game. Deshaun Watson finally is finally playing consistently. He's played consistently well over the last 3 games. Oh, and these are not even easy opponents. These are some pretty tough opponents. This is probably the easiest of the bunch. But the Browns do well. Their defense is able to suppress Justin Herbert's offense. Yeah, they continue their win streak. And now the Browns' win streak comes to an abrupt end against the New Orleans Saints. The Saints, in many respects, are a team the Browns should beat. They should beat them, but they're not. They come off 3 great showings. But now it comes to an end against Derek Carr. This is when Deshaun Watson starts playing mid again. Very mid here. He reverts back to how he was playing in Cleveland the last 2 seasons, I believe. And Chubb underperforms. Now the Browns bounce back against the Steelers. They are able. Deshaun Watson, he's in his up. He's had a couple ups and downs this season. He's currently in one of his ups. Chubb does well. We have a good battle between Russ and Watson. We have a good run face-off with Chubb versus Najee. Yeah, a pretty good game. Browns win it with 28-20. Now we have the Browns beating the Broncos 28-17. 28, that's been a score I've had almost all these Browns games are in that range. That's very much how I see this offense. Deshaun Watson puts up good games. Even sometimes he doesn't put up as good game, but this is probably his most consistent season in Cleveland. Chubb is still solid. I can still see him being top 10 worthy. I don't know if he's still top 5, but he's still top 10. Njoku is good. Their defense is still solid. They had one of the best defenses last year. They will continue to have one. But if anything, they kind of do underperform against the Broncos because this is a Broncos team vying for the first overall pick. But they still get a comfortable win over Sean Payton's Broncos. Now we have the Browns' second game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This time, Steelers win 19-16, low-scoring affair, kind of a lackluster game for the Browns. One of their lowest-scoring performances. Deshaun underperforms. The Steelers' defense is able to stifle Nick Chubb. Another disappointing performance by the Cleveland Browns. This one even more disappointing than the last. Again, Another outing which Chubb is stifled by the Chiefs' defense. Deshaun Watson continues to underperform and plays very mid. They scored 9 points, which is kind of very, very unimpressive for this Brown squad. Yeah, if you want to see KC's perspective, check my I Predict the Kansas City Chiefs. And we have another disappointing performance with the Cleveland Browns. They fall to 8-7 against Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow's team is now on fire now, and they blow them out 34-14. Deshaun Watson continues his fall off, and the Browns defense and Nick Chubb can't. And the Browns get eliminated from playoff contention in a last-second thriller against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins take it with a last-second touchdown to win the game. And the Browns fall to 8-8, missing the playoffs. Both Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb have good games, but the Browns just couldn't do enough to stop Miami's electric offense. And the Browns finished the season in disappointing fashion, 8-9, losing their last 5, finishing out with a low-scoring game. At this point, it's their backups versus Baltimore's backups. Baltimore, at this point, has already locked up the first seed in the AFC, and the Browns are already eliminated from postseason contention, so they're not going to risk losing time on the expensive Deshaun Watson or whatever they got left in Nick Chubb, because I'm pretty sure this is the last year of Nick Chubb's contract, so this may be his last year as a Brown. Let's hope that he still is the same Nicholas Jamal Chubb that he was before he got injured. Well, other than that, that's the Browns season. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload my next video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.